Hey everyone, welcome back to Lumber Capital Log Yard. Today I'm going to be answering 3 commonly asked questions about our lumber. And I know while I talk I'm going to be doing a lot of this with my arms. Jade tells me every single time when she's videoing that I like to express with my hands. So I'm not going to quit, I like it. So just be prepared for some crazy arm gestures. Okay. Before we begin, remember to like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram at lumbercapital07 so you don't miss out on anything extraordinary, because I'm extraordinary. The first question I get asked a lot is why we cut hemlock and not other species of more value. Believe it or not, hemlock is actually in very high demand. Mainly for its qualities because it has both bug and rot resistant properties. Because of this, hemlock is the best wood to use for anything outdoors. And I know I'm going to have some people disagreeing with me on that, but for the price that you can get hemlock at versus hardwoods, you get a good product for the amount of money that you are spending. And hemlock barns from 200 years ago are known to still be standing with siding that has not been touched by bugs. So there is a rich past of hemlock being able to withstand the test of time a lot better than other woods. Also, another aspect of it is that most of our competition isn't doing a lot of hemlock. We are some of the only people in our area actually sawing any hemlock at all. Another question I get a lot is, do we kiln dry? The answer to that is both yes and no. So everything we have out in inventory is just going to be air dried on stickers. But if you as a customer wish to have your lumber kiln dried, we can stick it in the kiln and just kiln dry your order, but we do it to order. And it's going to cost you a lot extra because that is a lot of extra work on our end because we have to pick up your order and hand load it into the kiln, and then it has to sit for probably about a month, maybe less amount of time in the summer when it's hot and dry, but it does take a while to kiln dry because, as some of my viewers know, we have a solar kiln. We can take a look inside here. So it is actually quite hot in here right now. I'm not going to be in here longer than I need to be, but you can see we have the walls painted black. That really creates a lot of heat in here. And all this lumber in here is done right now. We don't have too much in here. Those 2 doors open so we can actually get the forks in here. But it's challenging and it's a lot of work and it takes a while. So yes, we can do it, that's what this is here for, but it's a lot of extra effort and costs you a little bit of money. Now for my last question, is our lumber true dimension? And let's find out. As you can see, that is exactly 2 inches. So yes, we do cut on the inch. So to answer the hundreds of questions of whether we cut on the inch or not, the answer is yes. But there's one factor that most of you should be taking into account and some people don't, and that is shrinkage. When it dries, hemlock is known to shrink. Now, not nearly as badly as pine, because I've seen pine go from 1 inch to literally a ½ inch by the time it's completely dry. Hemlock is not as bad in that sense, but most contractors working with hemlock already know to accommodate for that. So as you could see, these 2x4s were 2 inches when I measured them, and that is because they haven't really had time to shrink because they were recently cut. They'll probably lose a very tiny fraction, just enough to be able to notice it on a tape measure, but not really notice it by just eyeing it. I have talked to customers who already knew all about this and had calculated it into their equation for their project, and then I've also talked to customers who had no idea, and it can really screw you up if you don't know about that. So it does shrink a little bit, but we do cut on the inch. So if you're buying lumber from Lowe's and you're also wanting it to mix it with some of our lumber, it might end up being kind of roughly the same size, because I know that, you know, Lowe's lumber, it's going to be not on the inch at all. Our stuff will probably be a little larger even after drying and shrinkage, but it'll be a little bit closer. And I know people that do mix the lumber, and that is an issue with the difference in dimensions. Buying a 2x4 at Lowe's is not like buying a 2x4 from our company, because this is rough cut and Lowe's is not. I mean, personally, I'd never buy anything from that place that sells lumber, because there's nothing good about that lumber. I mean, have you guys seen it? It's pieces of it. It's nothing that you want to buy or anything. She's looking at me like, Emerald, just stop right now. But hey, I'm just being honest. Sometimes what I've noticed is that people compare our rough cut lumber to the lumber that they get at Lowe's, which is nice and smooth and planed. I'm not saying that's not all cracked and stuff, but you can see how people would be confused when they come into our log yard and the lumber is all rough. Some people just don't understand the difference between rough cut hemlock and a piece that they would buy from Lowe's, which is planed and, while maybe cracked and all this other stuff, smooth and nice. So the main difference and why people would go for something that is rougher, like our rough cut hemlock, is that rough cut lumber is way cheaper. And it looks nice when it is exposed. It looks a lot better than the stamped stuff that you get at Lowe's. So if it's going to be a piece of wood that is exposed in your house or on decking or fence or whatever you're doing, it looks a lot nicer than your typical Lowe's piece of lumber. Serious? Who wants to be serious? Okay, I'm serious. Okay. My hair, the wind. Ha! Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram at lumbercapital07, and I'll see you tomorrow.